Greetings and welcome back once again to yet another Hambbage Hardcore Vanilla Minecraft episode. Glad to have you here, and we'll dive right back in. Get another session here on our quickly evolving world, which is going by the name Elcano. Um, haven't really had an opportunity yet for any of these videos to be up to see comments, so not sure if anybody's thrown in an answer, but while I don't advocate the Google for potential other clues, and if you do see it, let me know. A little cryptically. You don't have to just come right out and say it if you've already either looked it up or found it. But I will say it's significant in the coming week, and I would hope, I haven't seen anything yet, but I would hope that most news and information sources begin to maybe mention that name along with a few others in the coming days and weeks. Kind of significant in a commemorative kind of way. So I'm interested to see. I purely accidentally stumbled upon that, but got a real kick out of it when I found it. So got yet another undersea temple, guardian temple here. I don't know if you can make it out, but right ahead of us is the top. You can see kind of some there's a flopping looking fish thing in the distance there, right on the under the water, the underwater horizon, and above it is a framework of stones kind of up and suspended. And then if you look just to the right of that a little bit, you can see a couple more little gateways much lower down. They're tougher to see in the kelp, but there's some guardians around that, and that is a guardian temple. So just like with Susanna Dean, we've got close access to a guardian temple, which would come in real handy for there's the familiar sound now that we have identified it as being caused by guardian temples. So good to know that's close at hand and ready if we should survive long enough to need it. I hope so. Oh, look, we got a little, looks like a dark forest over in that direction. Cool to see that. I'm not going to pretend it wouldn't be cool to see some of the biomes we have yet to encounter in any of our worlds. Ooh, look at that, a floating ship. We'll definitely go check that out. It could help us out for some of our food needs. Looks to be in pretty good shape. You can even see a rudder underneath it, and I don't know what that little side thing is on the kind of the back quarterdeck sticking down, but yeah, no matter. We'll arrange a quick boarding party here. Step on up. So this is kind of cool. So often, we're at the mercy of our breath. Look at that. It even kind of split here. You can see based on the maybe the biomes that it's in. Let's take a look. Deep lukewarm. So no, it just randomly spawned that way where it gets a little bit of, I think that's probably jungle wood mixed in there. So cool to have that little bit of variety, and we'll, without having to worry too much about drowning, we may have to worry about getting in and out of this thing, but I mean, look at this. We can, just with getting our socks a little bit wet, we can get our first diamond of the game. That's cool. So definitely glad to have the iron too. Wasn't the most exotic of treasures that we could get out of a chest. Come on. Can't, of course, oh yeah, this one's going to be easy. It won't even give us much damage, but like with the lava we encountered, I don't think we need any of that. We've already got potatoes, so we're going to grow them. We'll get loads of poison potatoes. We get our little air pocket here, just like in a deep sea, and we'll get a treasure chest that we can go hunt down. So already, this expedition is going even better than we could have hoped. We already found a temple and got a boat. So we're already close at hand to our treasure. It looks like if we come around here, maybe back. Now we're heading into that little cove, and we will just cruise up around this island. Let's go the long way, just so we don't forget and miss filling in the rest of our map here. Ooh, more to deal with. Now, this one could be a little bit more risky. Let's get clear and positioned. Can we see? Now, when we go over any of these sunken magma blocks, they're going to try to pull us down, but we did locate the chest, so we're just going to shoot down, and if we go, what you'll see is that our bubbles, well, we kind of hit the bottom there. I'm not even going to look. We'll get a bit more air just to swim back up again. And those may try to pull us back as we go back to our boat, but yeah, I didn't even look at the enchants on things. I just wanted to grab them. Fire aspect and mending on a gold helmet, not too bad. We could potentially get that dressed up. I'm not counting on it, but nice to have it, and definitely that, supplies out the iron we've been using up pretty regularly. We can toss these along the way. Early obsidian, we certainly want to grab when we can, because it ultimately will help us get an enchanting table without having to have a diamond pick. If we, now we're halfway there. If we find the other two pieces and, got a book, if we have a diamond, we're in business. So the game's definitely helping us out. Now, we could be on a coastline here, so we may have to backtrack just a little bit. That's okay if we do. I think this map is going to be really pretty gorgeous because of the mushrooms in it. It gives it a little bit more color than some that you just find out and about in the world. Now we'll want to sleep, but that's interesting. Just wanted to kind of, get up to the end of this river. Why don't we still don't have stars coming out yet. And maybe we will sleep right along this river. I don't know if this is going to end up being big time salmon or just a few, but that was one of our goals for this trip, was to get some food. And if that happened to be a get that out of here. Because what I want to, before I go diving into the water and focusing on salmon, I want to see if any creepers or anything spawned up amongst these trees that may work their way back down. Now, it's not just looking like this thing is chock full of salmon, but we got one. You look lonely and lost, buddy, so we'll just pull you back in. Swim over to the boat. Head back out. I saw one other earlier. There he is. Oh, two. When you're trying to sword chop salmon. It's definitely one of those where the more you practice, the less futile it seems, and for not not being the most robust of things that you can hunt, they're tricky to pin down and get get actual hits with your sword on. So when you are in a river or something like that and you have a pack, if you can kind of drive them, which they'll try to go away from you a little bit. If you can kind of push them in a direction towards shore, if you can get them where they're kind of pinned up above 1 or 2 deep water, they can't do the up and down diving thing that makes them a lot tougher to catch. So we're going to do the old point north. I think we're pointing north, and there's our little knobby sticking out of the X, and we're probably going to fall off the edge here. That's okay. So right about here, we'll now switch into our shoveling mode and see just how deep we have to go to get this. Not too deep at all. A lot more of that. Well timed on the cooked salmon because we already have a spot allocated. I don't think we'll grab the iron swords since we already have one in good shape, and we've currently got plenty iron. Tempted to throw back let's toss these into this chest too. Some other person may find another copy of this map in the impossibility of finding themselves in this world, but in the gameplay mentality, if somebody else came looking for buried treasure, maybe some kid someday, they'd go, "Oh wow, look, we got some wooden half slabs and an iron sword. Cool." So, a little karma. We'll give it back. Good that we, incidentally added a bit more to our supply. And now, since we're here, let's just kind of explore this coastline a little bit. We know, we can return south and then hang a left when we're coming back, and that'll get us home. But just keeping our eyes out. Maybe something up there. It's a little dark. It could be trees, or it could be another broken gateway. Or a ship. How about a ship? So I may have summoned it by just talking about it out loud. And this one may not have anything. It's kind of in worse shape than the other ship. And depending on which side this is, we may not find much in the way of open cabins. The lower one is going to be down here. So maybe we'll. I expect that it never even, unless it's back here, it never even generated the chest that we would have wanted for potentially finding a treasure map. If it had, though, it very likely would have just been pointing back to the same treasure we just emptied. So no great loss there. When we get this much good stuff, we're not going to complain at all. So, and once again, now we're not even getting our socks wet on this one. We're just standing and gathering up all the loots. So, put back away the oak planks. We know, and we'll relatively quickly come back over here and grab some dark oak trees, get the saplings, do the same thing we did at our previous home, where we can kind of start farming some of that wood back closer to home. But with our limited inventory right now, I think, well, because we have limited inventory right now, let's just do that. We can gather up a stack of dark oak, and we can hopefully pull a few saplings from that, and that would kind of fill up our inventory from this boat trip and make it a big win for a relatively little effort. Didn't have to go too far, didn't have to yet risk too much to get some results. So let's just pull up right on this shore. Always want to give a little look around and just try to avoid any nasty surprises. As I've said a couple times, the dark oak forests are ones that I find to very often have plenty of surprises. Now, I don't know if this is one low tree that's just kind of spread out, or if it was a couple that grew together. Looks kind of like the former. I think those are the other trees. Are we missing anything up top here? I don't see it if we are. It's just a tree jumping at shadows. At least one in the water, so we'll have to go fish that back out. Now, one of the tricks on getting dark oaks to start to go is you gotta clear enough so that their leaves aren't being protected by surrounding trees, because even if they connect or touch the leaves of other trees, unless it's too far to just maintain the growth, those will keep for giving a lot of license to game methodology. They're continuing to gather nutrients. They've just reestablished themselves to a different species of tree in proximity, and that's how they're continuing to get water and all that. It's fine. It works pretty well. Maybe if we just trim up through there, some of these guys will start to break a little bit. I got a stick already. We can take out this. Well, I'd like to promote the decay of the trees, but I don't really want to carry the wood back. We're already chock full on wood and have a stick in the way. But I don't know if those are gonna... Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so drop the stick, switch it out, and get some saplings in place. There's one there. So we got a couple ready to go. If we can even just get these 4, that puts us... I've only got 3. Where'd the other one go? Find it. I feel like I'm talking to a dog. Go find it. Find it. There was another one up there. I saw it. Did it just hop over to a different leaf? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So at least 4. That at least will let us grow, a new tree. If any of the rest of these are gonna break, it would just help to speed up the... Hey, now we're growing 2 big trees. This one, I'm a little worried is going to connect to that one. If we could find one that's just a little bit isolated by itself, maybe here. I'm also keeping an eye on the sun. I don't want to see an incident arise from that. Okay, those 2 are distinct. So we'll take down that tree before we go, after we sleep, and after we sweep for any creepers after the sun comes back up, because I don't want surprises. So I don't see anything imminently coming at us. So usually, if there's stuff out towards an edge, I try to kind of leave it just to, I think pulling a couple trees out of the middle of an area that you're going to leave is a little nice. It just helps maintain the look of it a little bit better. In case you're, boating past it, it's kind of nicer to see a forested island than one that's just all denuded. And if you have a couple trees on the outer edge, even from a distance, you can kind of go, oh, that's dark oak forest. But in this case, it's all by itself. By taking this down, even though we may not get all the wood, we'll get, I already see saplings falling, and we want those above all else. So I think that's an acceptable trade. Now, what, if anything, are we sitting on that we really don't need? Maybe the sword, maybe the helmet. I guess as I say all that, we're not completely full on dark oak, so never mind. I'm not leaving stuff behind, but we'll hang for a minute and let some more of these break down, on the chance that we can get enough. I mean, we're 2 big trees already, and we've taken down 3 and gotten enough when they're in a group. This one didn't fully decay, so 10. Come on, I don't want to be greedy, but a couple more. Even now, if we grow 2, we've got two in reserve, ready, and it's that much closer to another big oak, dark oak tree. So this will certainly help our forestry efforts. The trade-off is, and we can maybe run these out on the other side, maybe near the beach where we set off for this voyage, by using dark oak, we lose our opportunity for beehives, I believe. I don't think that bees will make their nests in a dark oak tree. So even birches, they will, but the dark oaks would just grow up kind of around without ever doing that kind of production. So we won't worry about the flowers and stuff, and kind of separate those into different areas, just to get a good source of wood. Obviously these, you need more saplings to create them, but when you get them, we've got nearly 2 full stacks of wood already, and that would maybe take a greater number of the regular oak trees. I mean, if you think that those are 4 or 5 logs per tree, the sapling return is better, but the number of trees you've got to grow to keep getting the wood is a little less efficient. I think we got enough. 12. That's 3 trees. We'll be able to keep them growing from there. So we're just gonna try not to go over the bubbles. We kind of swung around this way, and I think we're on a pretty good heading to get back. So there's our temple. Now we're approaching it back from more the front, so you can see the lit up entrance a little better from here. So it's got a tunnely entrance down way below, and those guardians will be all around it, and they are troublesome until you've got a pretty good set of defense. And there's hoving into view is our outer edge of our island. So, well, maybe we launched from over. I point with my finger. We launch over there to the right, as you see, and kind of plopped in. So we'll maybe go the opposite way. Oh man, is there another one? Was this the one we saw? There's so many. Look, that one you can see even more structure on. So we've got lots of later game opportunity for sponges here around our little base area, which is nice. We'll just shoot. We'll run back home and then come back and pick up our boat. I was thinking, oh, let's just pick up our boat so we don't have it just sitting out there as an entity, taking up resources. And then I forget that, oh yeah, we don't have any room to do that. That's nice. Just right out our sort of front door view. In the distance would be another guardian temple. Very cool. Cook up those salmon. Treasure. That's too high. Treasures. Nuggets are treasures. Mending helmet, even though we haven't used it, we'll just throw in that box for now. Sword we won't. It'll go over here. Honestly, I don't know that we're ever going to use that. These are all random bits that we don't. Let's put the treasure map over here. I think we grabbed a piece of leather along the way. No, didn't we have 3? Maybe I left those down in the chest by the zombie spawner, or maybe they're in one of the towns. I don't know. I think we saw some leather though, didn't we? Maybe that was in Hondo. I don't know. Poor Hondo world. It was so intriguing looking, and then it was gone. We'll throw our obsidian there to avoid just confusion. Now before we lose the daylight, let's go back out this way, get our boat, and maybe we'll put our dark oak trees over on this corner, since we haven't really done anything out in this direction anyway. I think our original oak farm was back over by that one tree that had the bee's nest in it, so yeah, this will work out all right. Just come around here, or by these cows. Hey cows, would you guys like some dark oak trees? Oh, another cave. Now, we just group these up. 2, 3, 4, as we learned in the last world. Always put your dark oak saplings in groups of 4. Are we ready? What do we got here? We got a bed, we got torches. He must be down below. Let's grab those 2. This is relatively low stakes and value. I didn't get the sugar I was gonna do over here. Just like in the last world, we can boost this quite a bit eventually, but while we're getting going, we'll just expand what we currently have growing naturally and just spread it out a little bit. And then we can take these guys. Boom. Very good. And I think no matter what else, we'll maybe leave that tree up to look pretty and kind of be a reminder, even if some of these trees eventually get cleared out, that's where a forest extended to. It'll give us maybe some light. Not really, but maybe something we could see in the distance if we cleared out this dirt ridge, which I think should go eventually. Oh no, I'm not gonna just be silly about it. Get some of this locked in. Cook. And while we aren't swimming in food after that, we're not completely lacking either. And just like before, once we, now that we're a little bit ahead on iron nuggets, or on iron ingots, we will, for lack of any real need, we'll just leave those. And, if we want to make lanterns, we've got them ready to go. That will work out well enough. And we can kind of continue. So let's put you away, grab out slabs, and that was why we had to stop the last time around. We needed 3 more of these to make some more stairs. We could do these in any amount, so at times just as easy to grab full stacks and make four piles of those basically, but I don't want to have, we'll end up leaving broken blocks all around as we're building, and it's not that much quicker, so might as well not have to store them and juggle the inventory and all those extra little bits along the way if we don't have to. Oh, once again, these two, I think we did the other side, maybe, yep. Half slabs there. Empty the floor. And hopefully, as much fun as it has been finding caves and stuff, I would like to maybe get these next dozen plus floors efficiently, or without too much excitement. Maybe I hear the lava. That certainly could present an engineering extra thought that we have to work around. Nothing we can't handle, but worth noting that it's bubbling away. Alright, now, steps good. Hey, I think we found the lava. We'll see how far this cave goes back underneath in this direction ahead of us. The lava certainly keeps anything from coming at us in that direction, which is nice. But not knowing what we have below, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little intimidating. Because you don't just want to inadvertently create access for monsters to come up and get us. I don't. You may, in your worlds. Go for it. That would probably make some quality videos. People would be pretty excited to see you get dropped into a cave and retaliated on for all your previous good fortune. It's bigger. Good news is I haven't yet heard a whole lot of mob sounds. I'm just going to temporary torch there. I think this is our angle to work from. Maybe we get enough to kind of cut here. I think we don't want an extra stair anyway. So I think we're still safe and best to face it head on. We got extra torches. Let's switch this while we got it. Let's load up good food. Go. Torch, 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 torch. Other lava. Good. Torch. It's not a full barrier. Oh my gosh. How are there so many caves around here? Torch. Torch. Whoa. Don't think you guys are in. Oh, look what we found. This one, since it also sounds like zombies, is too low to be of use. So when we get into it, we're going to break it. I thought we switched you. Okay, that gives us a little bit better idea of dimensions. We still don't know where we are on height. It's that higher pitched little zombie growl. That's the mini guy. And I think we'll do this to hopefully prevent disaster when it comes to. You can hear they're just blowing up in there right now because it's dark. And okay, you can go on, jump in the big hole. Why don't you want to jump in the big hole, little guy? Oh my gosh, so many. What could get really bad is if they have a little trick to get around the trap I've set for them. And I don't mind the idea of mixing it up with these guys, but I don't really want to give them the opportunity to. That'll maybe slow them down a little bit on the spawning, although I think they'll just kind of spawn at the same rate in the other corner. So real quick, let's just get torches down. Now I'm as stuck as they were, but we can deal with that. Go hit up these, and then we got this. Oh, that's not too bad. So, as we were saying before we really got secure, we've already got zombies spawning, and just putting them in a room like that and letting them go, they'll actually kind of be a negative. Now that we've discovered this, we don't want it to compete with our one upstairs. So we're just going to go ahead and break this. We'll get some experience. And that's the luxury of having the other spawner. And the name tag is definitely the big win there. Having already gotten a saddle and not having anything to put it on. Kind of the rest of that is garbage. But we've now got 2 name tags, and I'm happy about that. And just some more junk. I don't know if, maybe I made a mistake breaking that before I looked in the chest. I don't know if that punishes you in a game type of way. That Oh, you don't want what we're going to give you? Well, all right, fine, be that way. We can get one more here, and I think we'll clean up the chest. Oh. Leave it to me, right? Oh, we got rid of the spawner, so let's just make the room dark and make it a natural spawner instead. Eh. Now, we're full. We got to run back upstairs. We don't want to troll ourselves by having a trap that we made and falling into it. So get out of the way there. More torch. Let's kind of leave that as a gauntlet of lava. Definitely want to take the high road here. Not that it was a long one, but that's the kind of drop spawn that will make you suffer. And again, liberal use of torches. Anytime we're around building or access that could go back up into our base, we will certainly err on the side of use up the torches and get it dealt with beforehand, and then clean it all up later when you know that nothing's gonna follow you up the stairs and wake you up in the middle of the night by tapping on your shoulder and going, "Surprise, creeper!" All right, so kind of marginal on the chest loot. Nothing that we super duper wanted. One piece of horse armor, not bad. You don't want to scoff at that too much. At least the name tags thing, and we can move that out of the way. What am I missing here? We got a lot of food stuff in the way of some seeds. Got a lot of treasure in the way of some gold. Got a lot of stuff for here. Oh, I didn't even put the stupid redstone away. I was so busy laughing about it. Dump off some excess of those and some of those, and we'll store our chests. In fact, since we just have those chests, let's just go ahead and make a front stoop chest, and that will be our horsey stuff. So we have 2 saddles, we have a armor. We never did go back and get the leads from that wandering trader, but we'll do so at some point if we don't get a slime. All right, so back in business. Move that out of the way. And any of the buckets, whether it's water, lava, fish, milk, any of that, once you've filled them, they won't stack, but we can make more buckets, and when they're empty, like real buckets, you could just nest them all together and stack them up. So not bad there. Yeah, we could maybe make a new pick, but I think we've got enough to press on down. So here we go back into the depths once more. It's a twisty, turny road, but we can now hang a few more torches up. Just something. Ooh. Watch. I hope I don't have to put up railings just for my own. I do need to put up railings. Let's go this way. There. And 1, 2, 3. There. Already set. So we can work this until and if it drops out from under us, but we should pick up the rock wall again and just be able to finish it out fairly normally. Just like in the upper access, we'll try to make our door in both directions off that way at our natural landing and minimize the amount of extra wall work we need to do around all this stuff. So we'll have a full landing there. We'll have a stair here. We'll have some slabs. This is going to be... I got it. Imagine that. Some slabs in the middle here. And I know I said when I mistakenly thought that I had died in the previous world from the lava when I accidentally pushed too far on the crouch. And I'd said, oh yeah, if you're on soul sand, or I'm sorry, on slabs or stairs, you can fall off. Well, I just corrected myself there, and you guys may not have caught it, but it's just stairs. If you're on slabs, you can use those to hang off the edge for building projects. So my apologies for the bad info on that one. We'll endeavor to try to keep facts somewhat in play when pretending I know what I'm talking about. Again, it's easy to... There's so much going on in this game that it's easy to accidentally just, specifics on things. It can get you in your way. And it can take your world. But so you want to be aware of it for that. But it also can just inadvertently get confusing at times. You can misstate things, not out of any malice or intended deception, but just because there's a lot going on that may be tough to keep track of. So here, let's make our transition to these caves, and why don't we keep with the theme that we started of the 3 wide door on these central ones. I don't know. Seems to work for me. And there we go. Now we've got still safe by lava. We can fill in this wall. Throw up another torch on the outside. Keep it safe and lit. And this all needs to get turned into wall for lower levels. Didn't want that one. Alright. Another level and some lava and another spawner down. We're finding all kinds of cool stuff. And, again, does it really make a difference how you get down here? No, but I do. It's why I like to mix it up a little bit in my own sense is when you're changing it up, some of the variety that you encounter in the game is just fresh enough that it all, okay, well, instead of just seeing a 3 wide track all the way down, I had more access to more potential contact with caves. Does that, was that the advantage that got me contact with one of those, where if I'd been going down in a single 3 wide staircase just going out in one direction, I would have missed some of that. And, I may have tunneled back under my base eventually, but wouldn't have had all this proximity. And, again, in theory, everything in this world was already generated before I decided where I wanted to start burrowing down. So it's given the game a lot of credit it probably doesn't actually deserve, and it's more just aligning. It's assigning correlation when it's only when it's not causation kind of deal. It's not because I went in a particular shape, but happened to get them in this world. Either way, I think it's a good omen that we're finding so many spawners, and this time I've actually found one that's up high enough that we can work with it. As I think, what do we see? That was at level 15 when we dug in, so we're right there. Let's set this torch, pull out this coal, frame in the rest of our little chunk here. My chunk, not a real game chunk, just a 7x7 chunk. It's the Hambbage size. So here we're just dumping cobble to fill in the backspace. Just as easily could have dropped a torch and called it good there. Let's get a quick depth. We're at 20, so we've still got a little ways to go. Now for our beautification, said sarcastically about the ugly cobblestone. We go. We go. We drop. And we swap out picks. And I hope that all the lava we're hearing is the lava we've already dealt with, or at least looked at. You know, we've identified it and made it relatively safe around us, as opposed to more lava beneath us that we're going to have to deal with. Because we really, you know, there wasn't a lot of significant height that didn't have stuff in it, whether that was caves or spawners or just various holes and things that we connected to. The one that looked out into the ravine by our base. So there's lots going on here underground, which is cool. I definitely would prefer that than, you know, unless we're doing all this at the expense of any diamond nodes underneath our feet. But even with that as a real possibility, that seems too low, doesn't it? No, that's how we've been doing it. Okay. It's a pretty good trade-off for just placing and digging some cobble stairs over a couple episodes. And think of all the other stuff we've gotten to do in the meantime. You know, going out and checking in with the villages, getting our eventual seed crops, finding the sunken ships, and doing a little looting is always nice. So, no complaints on my end about what we've encountered so far in this staircase adventure. It's just my alternate, I call it alt staircase, right? It's oh man, are you kidding? Why, game? Why do you feel the need to troll so hard? It's getting a little old, I'm not gonna lie. I just want to get on some diamonds. In diamond-related news, we are proud to say that we also got our hands on a couple more diamonds out of all that. So we are still short our obsidian, I believe. I don't think we have enough there, but we're, without having having done any actual mining of the stuff, we've gotten quite a bit of what we need for enchanting. Still woefully short in terms of experience to do any real enchanting, but having that spawner could certainly contribute to addressing that. It wouldn't be, wouldn't be the fastest, quickest way or cleanest way to do it, but it would allow us to go ahead and give some things an early try. So yeah, always welcome. Now, the good news is with the water, we're a little more insulated from unfriendlies than we might have otherwise been. Not that that's perfect, but it's better than having a bunch of... is that me? That's me. Like, is that a cave? Do we have to deal with a cave? So we've got some significant fill and dig work to do here. Where does this fall on our levels? This is at 14, of course. These are the kind of things that usually we catch when we're down below on level 11 looking for the diamonds and running our tunnels, and all of a sudden you got water pouring in on your head. That's a level 14 lake. That all works together pretty seamlessly. So as we fill this in, we do want to make sure that we're clearing it up. And, I'm just going to stop. This is so silly. We're probably spending about as much time as there is to go up and get some dirt, but we're going to have to remove all that anyway, right? It's just there and will be right in the heights that we're trying to make into our kind of mining area room. And so why are we putting down cobblestone that we're going to have to pick back out when at least we can shovel out the dirt? Work smarter, not harder, right? So we'll get our stairs in for the day. And as you can see, this is a lot of steps. Because we could. So this will speed up the time to clear it out when we get down to that as being our floor. I think this is 12, this is 13. What we were standing on was 14. So the reason why we have to do all this placing is these are water source blocks, and unless you have sponges, you've got to actually remove these or fill them in to break the fact that it's water source in order to then excavate around and have no more water replace it. Just like our infinite water sources in the middle of fields and out in the ocean, you pull a bucket of water out of here, it's just going to fill back in from the other blocks. So you do have to actually remove all of these in order to not deal with more trolly aspect. But, boom, throw a torch in the middle. Extra torches just to be safe. Okay, now we can finish the rest of this and get all the way down. We still hear lava. I still hope that's not one more great surprise. But now we could be hearing lava that's actually down at level. And I'm not going to worry as much about the walls at this point. Because, you know, our actual ceiling height may be around here, but even if these are a little longer float, it will save eventual time coming out. So we'll still probably wrap back around and finish kind of coming back in this direction, which would be slab, 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 blocks, block, 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 and then here, stair, stair, stair. And that should put us at 14. Alright, so when we get 13, 12, 11, we're good. Right at, right in roughly, we may be one step out from where we would normally end, but yeah, we'll be more or less in the pattern of our staircase all the way from top to bottom. So, cool. And we do want to just finish up the pattern here, keeping those nice and double-sided. Again, I expect, you know, most of this is going to remain open. I'm not going to do a lot of extra ceiling fill-in to wrap around our staircase, you know, and we may even drop off that to have a quick jump down. I don't think we're going to take damage at that point. Just kind of dropping down to our floor. If we, you know, if it is too high, we'll maybe put a railing up or something on that just to make sure we're starting at the right place. Or, you know, maybe we'll make a two-sided staircase and we'll have plenty of room. Unless it lines up with the base of the mob spawner, but unless I'm turned around, I think it's off in that direction, so it would, you know, it was a ways out. We had to go out through a tunnel, so, you know, maybe 20 blocks total in that direction, a ballpark, and when we get there, then we would have a shaft dropping down and not want to have any construction or anything under there that's not just dedicated to the processing of all those mobs. So we'll see how it all plays out. But we're going to have some significant dirt moving in our future here. I don't know how we quite missed that torch. Got some haphazard placement here, but okay for the moment. So this is still 12, so we do have to go one extra to get all the way down, but I'm not crying about that. That's just fine. We do just want to make sure whatever that bubbling lava is, if it's not the stuff where we know it is, and since we know there's a lot up above our head, being aware and just not trying to bring that down on top of us is worthy of note. And to taking a little bit of extra time to... Okay, so we need to be one more down, right? And we want steps on that. Now, we're going to have to transition some of this back into our torch system. And maybe we'll do it like this. And this is, again, the advantage of the 7-block square. It's all angle. Levels, Jerry. It's all levels. So we got our 5, and then we drop one more. And lo and behold, the torches sit right in the corners of our stair space. So that sets us up well for the patterning that we use to expand out our little mining base down here. And as you can see, you know, the dirt ends up a little bit higher than our heads, but it will clear very quickly relative to all this block. And we don't have a flood on our hands, which is pretty nice. So, win-win. Now, I do think we could maybe do something cool with not that. With the possibility of this below. And I kind of like that half slab. So let's come back up here. Can I... Let me out! Just for our own lighting's sake, we'll maybe do some of that. And spitball in here. But I think this would look pretty cool if we went here. And there. That's all going to be gone. So even though that looks a little dark, I think I'm okay there. I don't know. We'll have to see, you know, with those sticking out, are we prone to just dropping and eventually taking damage on that last flight? I don't know. Right now we have no feather fall, but long term we potentially would have some, so, or likely would. I don't think we'd really look to go long term without it. And I just think this, when we expand all this out, having access to these stairs from either side would be kind of a cool deal. What we do want to do is just start stepping this down into our area here. So we can this is all stuff I'm not sure how we're gonna transition to from what's right now a super high ceiling to right now those steps end at 4 high, and you know, if we were up at 5 in the surrounding area of our stairs, that wouldn't be so bad. And could then, then go down to 4 or whatever, depending on which way we were building in and how we went. But I think we are definitely going to want some more light in the area, and I just hope we have enough room to finish all this. Kind of jammed up. Got some redstone. Make me complain about my inventory game by throwing diamonds into the mix at this late moment. That would be pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there we are with our double side. I don't know if that's going to end up looking cool or looking silly when we get all said and done. I think it just really needs to have the ring around the outer edge filled. Okay, so that's actually going to go away by doing that. That looks pretty good, I think. Yeah. Now we need the torches in here first, just for extra light. So with a failing pick, let's start with those two and then see how much further we can go. So now what I'm thinking is we will, in our next great digging adventure, before we even really get on, because it's clearly, when you put the time into making a staircase thing like this, you have a bit more invested in it, and we're gonna lose at that height, so those would be doubled. We could go here, and that would keep it consistent. Means cobble over on this side. Let's get a little access back up. So if we went, oh man, what do we got in other blocks? I just don't want to do that with cobble. I think that it's bad enough. It's bad enough having a whole bunch of odds and ends once these things get going. But if we did that, oh, is that all we had? Oh my goodness, it's gonna drive me nuts. But I think, fill in the rest of this hole. That puts it on a level with this, which is our 5. We can just tweak this a little bit as needed, but obviously on this side it goes way up, and maybe we even, from these stairs, step climb this ceiling down to this ultimate, this is the ultimate height we're going to be at. So if we just took this one back a row, and for the width of our area, take that one and just climb this all the way back out. Yep, I knew that was going to come. But you kind of get what I'm seeing, right? We pop that one back 2 and then just climb it up until we're out of levels. It'll be a more stepped transition. I don't think we have to, put a facing on it or anything like that, but it'll at least ease it as you're coming down the last little run into the actual mining area. It isn't just you're there. Again, I think that's potentially trouble, and it'll only take one. Let's see how bad it is. Half a heart, maybe a heart of damage. I think until proven otherwise, I think if we've done it a few times in a row, we'll put up something to stop ourselves. But until then, we just kind of be careful at the bottom of the stairs. All right. Cobble away. Dirt away. Andesite. We definitely got down into the andesite level, huh? Let's pick up a couple more of those. Can use the raw stuff, even though that's our floor, but we can use a raw few of those to finalize out the trim on that ceiling. Just having it not ugly cobble is a win. Hey, clay. We need axes though. Picks. Quite a bit of grind everybody's stuck through here, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. This is a little bit of work needed. Are you a trader, or are you a... You got llamas. You need to go to sleep, dude. Unless you're already hiding. Then why are you talking? If your whole strategy for dealing with zombies is to hide, don't talk when you're invisible. Bad idea. I recently rewatched what's now a kind of old movie. I mean, it featured Sean Connery, not at his latest performances, but The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Not my favorite movie by any means. I think I'd seen it once when it first came out, but I was like, oh, I remember this vaguely. Let's give it another watch. It's been since it came out so that I've seen it, and it is decently good for a low stakes rewatch. I thought it as I recall it having to, I struggle a little bit with some of the just gratuitous. Oh, we need another character from that period of adventure style writing. So I know, without any tie into Sherlock Holmes, let's make Moriarty a character. And it's like, what? How does that do anything? You guys are crazy. But I still think, is for what today, generally, unless you go some of the international and stuff like that are doing some more interesting things with the kind of traditional adventure movie genre. Nowadays, it's superheroes or nothing. I know there's business drive behind it, right? And they're gonna say, people want backstories and spin-offs and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna make it superheroes or comic books or nothing. And so I thought in that sense it was cool that they went back to a bunch of characters from literature that kind of predated that genre and refreshed and modernized them a little bit. But I struggle with the movie concepts itself. most among them, and I don't think I'm giving many spoilers on a 20. I don't even know how old that movie was. I think it was like mid 90s or very early in the 2000s. I'm trying to get a boat, and I'm thinking about a boat specifically, but again, I don't think it's a major spoiler to say one of the characters in it is Captain Nemo, from obviously the adventure book of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Came from that period, was very fitting, and I thought that was a good addition to the book. I think we really wanted to put you in the boat, sir. I apologize. I got too used to my villager work. So sorry for the land boat ride. Yep. I'm glad you accept my apology. I'm going to try not to hit you and get the boat back. Now, we want the llamas in the boat. Uh-huh. And it's tougher when you... No! Look, your llamas told me that they wanted a boat ride. Stop running away. Llamas, get in the boat. Get in the boat. No, not you. Oh, my goodness. I might have... I think this might be the last episode. When we get to the end of this one for the day, we may have to just call it. What I was trying to say between... Get out of the boat, dude. I think all the other guys, those were other worlds. They didn't... There we go. They didn't have any correlation. I don't believe that you guys have a union of wandering traders that share notes on people using boats to take your leads. If your llamas really love you, you don't need to carry them by leads. Just instruct them on how to heal and make them come. They'll be fine. Now, those can go out in our horse box. Yep. Good. So, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Pretty cool. I think it too, I was kind of bagging a little bit on the adventure movies. I think that did originate from comic books. It may have. I'm never was a big comic book guy. I certainly had lots of childhood collectible pastimes and all that kind of stuff as growing up, but not as a slam on comic books. I just didn't have a whole lot of access. I had a card shop in bikeable range, as I have talked about, and I had model trains and that kind of stuff. Just didn't really have a comic book store. And when I was kind of at that age, I guess, the times that I would go for variety collectible type shopping stuff as a kid, you're not really super shopping, but if you went to those kind of places, they would have cards too, and I would be far more interested in baseball cards back in the day than in comics. So that was just not my thing. But I do believe that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came potentially from some form of a either graphic novel or comic book background, where some artist had created that sort of universe using some characters, I think. Just kind of going off hazy memory and mainly speculation. So all apologies if any and all of that is incorrect. What I ended up thinking of the book, though, sorry, just pulled up the wrong window here. Just wanted to check. See, we're still doing okay on time. We're getting there. We'll kind of just work in here, clean back up some of this space that we'd already worked on to get a starting point, and fill up our inventory a little bit, and then just call it good. We've done very well. I'm very happy with the start that we've gotten on this world in my sessions of play today, which would be these 4 first videos of the world. So pretty good. What I was trying to get to with boats and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is, among all the things in a silly type movie, it's funny the things that make you struggle to suspend your disbelief. And for me, the struggle to suspend my disbelief was their representation of the Nautilus, Captain Nemo's submarine. And I'm not spoiling the plot of the movie or anything, but if you got Captain Nemo, you're gonna have the Nautilus, and they did, and it was kind of cool. That was the gang of superheroes, the extraordinary ones, was their main conveyance, and awesome. I'm cool. I'm down with all that stuff. The two things I really struggled with. The first was they go to the city of Venice at a point, and they're tooling along in the canals of Venice in this is a cruise liner sized submarine and some shots, and then it's just magically dropping into the canals of Venice and nobody can see it, and it's fully submerged. And it's like, I don't know a lot about underwater Venice, but I know it was built out over the water and into the bay, and the canals kind of existed, but I don't think they're hundreds of feet deep. I think they've got passage for gondolas, but that's about it. So that piece really got me. And then at some point they say, "Oh, we've recharged the solar cells. We can dive." And it's like, I don't have a problem with that. I think that would be a pretty cool super sub thing. Solar powered. It's got to go up, and I think it's not too far from the reality of. Excuse me. I didn't quite mute that. But I think it is kind of along the lines of the early submarines that had diesel batteries and had to go to the surface, run their engines where they could get oxygen, and they could obviously, burn and combust with airflow and everything and exhaust. And you can't really do that underwater. So obviously with nuclear-powered submarines, all that has changed, and they can run underwater for extended periods of time, and basically, they leave port, and you don't see them. That's kind of the point. So cool stuff. But I laughed that here is this classically shaped submarine with the rounded hull that's on top, and they've got all these scenes where they're standing up on the small little deck of the surface submarine, and they're talking and doing all their stuff. And at one point they say, "All right, well, the batteries are fully solar charged. We're ready to go." And it's like, you don't have any solar on this submarine that's out in the ocean. And by the way, what happened? It defeats the purpose of a submarine if you have to surface during daylight hours to charge the batteries. Like, what is Captain Nemo thinking? Who's his engineer? And did he say, "Sir, your ideas need a little work. Let's go back to the drawing board and let's tweak heavily until we come up with something that's a little more suited to the application." So I got a good chuckle out of that. It's still a good movie. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. We lost him earlier this year. Way too many known folks in a whole bunch of industries we've lost along the way this year. And I didn't bother to look. I know, he was an older gentleman. He lived a good life, and I think one that any of us would be proud to come to the end of and say, yeah, I've achieved quite a bit. But it was certainly one that would constitute that summer popcorn movie type stuff. So I enjoyed it, but I don't overthink those kind of things, and I do wish they had maybe worked just a little bit on the details of how they were going to get the submarine around in the the confines of the canals. So enjoy it though. Go check it out. See if you agree or not. So I think we've done a bang up job. We're going to go out. Excuse me. We're gonna go out in either direction. So we're gonna take a full stripe across here. We gotta go out another 5 on this side, and then all the way across. So we'll be 4 by 2 or by 3 instead of our typical 3 by 3 because we have a larger footprint of our stairs. I'm down with that though. I think this is going to look pretty good and give us a kind of central area for our mining. And once we've, this will all look a little more balanced out once we've got the other side kicked out in that direction and it doesn't seem quite so lopsided. So I look forward to that. And then we'll, at that point, make it, probably step it another row around at 4. The 5 height. Well, we really want 4 for storage, which allows 3 stacked chests and a space above for lighting and the lids to open, and then you can do some hanging stuff around to kind of, give them context and not just make them a pile of chests in the middle of a room. So we'll look forward to doing all that kind of stuff. We'll probably go out for more bat got cooked maybe more adventure. We've got these tunnels to fully explore and vet out and get the lava on both sides dealt with before we do major additional excavations. So lots and lots and lots and lots to still do. And at some point we'll once we've kind of expanded our room down there, we'll drop a shaft and do some more excavating because we won't have done enough, and we'll set up a contrivance to drop zombies down so we can chop them and get them one kill or one shotted. So that's all to come. We're here, man. It hasn't been that terribly long, and we're already. Let's set these. We should have our dark oak trees out there eventually. I think I see one in the distance. So next episode we'll try to use up our stone axes maybe. Maybe look to start with the bees, the trees that potentially could get us some bees, and dive in from there. But for this episode and this whole play session, I'm gonna call it quits right now. You guys are the reason I'm doing this with recordings is so that I can share the way that I play Minecraft with others, and hope you enjoy it. Again, just kind of getting the bearings on doing these recordings and playing with that. Obviously, there's some challenges that come along with it, both in the recording side and also as I try not to get dead. So we'll keep working on both ends of that with the eventual goal of getting together some live streams of hardcore Minecraft as well. Would love to get a chance to interact with y'all. To that end, feel free to drop a comment particularly or a like if you've enjoyed some of these videos. I would appreciate that feedback, and I would love to eventually down the road maybe catch up with you guys in a Twitch stream or something. So we'll see how all that goes, but for now, I just want to once again thank you so much for watching. Tell you that I look forward to seeing you next time, and wish you the very best of days following this video until we join again in the next. Have a great day. Bye now.